This is a quick vid for the explanation of a story. Oh, and just for clarification, let's call this a, extremely well-organized roleplay. Onto the vid.
Hello, I'm Trace, but you can refer to me as the narrator for now. And I've been tasked with this wonderful job. Reagan, you little bitch. Once upon a time... oh, really? How cliché? Who wrote this script? The year was 2045. The US finally got its shit together and is one of the most largest and powerful nations. At the time, they knew their power was well known. But then Russia invented some cool new cloaking device and soon had everyone's attention. A few years went on and America was no longer in the powerful spotlight. The government basically wanted to show some power, so, on one of the least known islands far out in the Pacific, the US government assigned, let's call it a mini-government, if you will, and turned the island into a territory. The island is fairly large, so why did they do this, and what was this for? Well, time for some history. The island used to belong to some big industry back in the 90s, that of which the government has strictly not revealed, and it soon made the island insignificant. Because of this, there are what seems to be the ruins and remains of old houses and facilities on half the island. This will be important anywho, half of the island was now under major construction, and by the year 2050, they had finished complete construction. What did they build and why? Well, this answer will also help the answer of the previous questions that I left in the air. The government of the US, for a show of power, built the world's largest, most elite high school. The mini-government assigned to the island were there to hire people, work the school, manage the money, and just run the place as a whole. They were even assigned with the task of doing small things, such as touring the island monthly for assessments, and even taking interns. They had their own small military force for the guaranteed safety of students while on the island. You might be thinking, well, this just sounds like a fancy clean high school. Oh no. This was an elite high school, dedicated strictly to teens that possessed extraordinary talents. Sure, there are the usual classes a high school curriculum would have, but there's extra added on to it. There's 3 extra hours for each extra course. For example, super hacking, martial arts, sword arts, cooking, game making, inventing, etc. Anything a student with a specific talent might have usually was a course in the curriculum. If the course didn't exist, the school would go out of its way to add it. Usually, rich people from all around the world would send their child with talents to this school, though there are a few exceptions. Some rich families would spend extra money to send their untalented child to the school just for the sake of their own family image. Oh, and then of course there are the scholarships. Some lucky teens would have the opportunity to have a free ride through the school if they show extreme talent above all the rest in their category. Tryouts for the new students of the poor are held every year for the first year class. Another wild thing, since the school is so massive, it therefore has its own dormitories provided for the students. Though, the most wealthy students sometimes even had their own house. Students are not allowed to go home unless under extreme circumstances or emergencies for the 4 years that they're there. Shocking, right? But don't worry, because the territory is so large, it has places such as nice beach houses, shopping outlets, as well as restaurants where the students of the school are allowed to go and enjoy their free time. Students can even get jobs. For example, some of the poorer students here on scholarships would get a job just to help and cover anything that their talent card didn't. Talent cards are similar to school IDs in our own system in how they cover basic things such as cafeteria food and the school curriculum. Your talent card is changed weekly, though, through a scanning system. By this, the students are ranked not only based on their academic abilities, but as well as their extraordinary talents. The way it works, if you're the best in your talent, you get a recommendation from the teacher of that talent. There can only be 2 recommendations handed out per course of the talent, though. Thus, the territory newly named Southern Karasyn Island was home to the famous Southern Karasyn Academy. The hell? Hey! What are you doing in here?
Enough of that boring shit. Let's talk about my favorite part of the island. Did you know that this place was...
Just ignore him.
What the hell was that for?
We probably should get back to... Alright, well, let's go. Narrator time, baby! Woo!
He means crackhead time.
Taking over admin controls. Let's
Edgy
go.
boy.
Let's go. Let's go.
Ah.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Ow!
Yeah.
What did you do?
What the fuck?
I clapped too hard and hurt my hand! Ow!
Oh my god.
It sounded like you slapped
It sounded
your
like
arm
you were trying to
on
clap
the
some
desk.
cheeks.
Yeah, clap them cheeks.
No! Good
Actual
lord.
foot. Hey, actual footage of Shrek coming in to clap them cheeks. Let's
Oh my god. Can we just